Hello, it's Renee, the practical shaman, coming to you from the yard. I wanted to draw my prayer flags for the year, and I thought it was an auspicious day to do it because it's the year that the Tibetans bring in the wind horse, and the wind horse is at the center of the compass. I think it's fitting. Last night we had the severe windstorm here, and I mean there was a point when things were shaking and moving, and I thought, like, am I in fear? And I had this pain in my heart, and I'm there, wow, is that where fear lives in me, is in my heart? And I thought, like, well, I have the wind, I walk with the wind. What is this? And as soon as I said, I know the wind, I walk with the wind, I work with the wind, the pain stopped. And every year in the wind circle, we draw wind cards for the year, one per month, and overriding cardinal or intercardinal direction for the year. And now we're also adding the wind intensity to that to give us a little indication of what's going on. And I thought we would first, I'll call in the winds and invite them for this little ceremony that I'm having. And there's new people in the circle with new oracle decks. So I thought I would bring you into our tradition, something that you can do. And then what we do is we call to that wind to work with us for a month or sometimes longer. And then when we feel complete, we send that wind home. And it's a very wonderful practice to keep up. And some people do it religiously, and then they paint their prayer flags and hang them up. And every month they really work deeply with these winds. And I really honor this tradition, and I hope you feel the call to join us with it. All right, let's call to the wind here. Hope it doesn't come up too much and blow the cards and the papers all over. And this wasn't a sales call, so I didn't bring them out here, but I do have cotton prayer flags, white, that you can decorate and make your own prayer flags with. And we we may get together and craft together as a group. And I also know that I'm going to be teaching a shift network class, and I talked to them about making some prayer flags as well. This weekend I'm going to the Conscious Life Expo in uh, Los Angeles, and so I just opened a brand new deck for that and for this. Because I'm a little luckier, I have all of these cards at my disposal that I can do this. All right. So I'm separating these into three piles. These are the cardinal, intercardinals. Actually, the doldrums are in here as well. Um, and the um, ec- Ecuador, the Ecuador, the center of the earth. What is that? The Ecuador. Well, the center of the earth where we switch, I have those ones in there too. All right. And then at the back, I have, this is really nice because I haven't mixed them all up. I have the intensity winds. So I'm going to pull those out as well. All right. So I've separated the cards into three piles: the directionals, the intensities, and the regional winds. And in the WhatsApp chat, I posted this up, and it's also over at windwork.org if you want to actually take the whole course on how to do this, or join me in the Shift Network class, and we'll be doing some of that as well. So I've done the first part where I've separated it into piles. And then what I do is I use papers because I can't remember from one month to the next in how to put them onto the prayer flags without doing this. So the first card that I want to put is what is the annual, what is the wind that I'm working with for the year? What is the overarching theme of my year? I shuffled them up a little bit. For some reason, I'm going to pull a second one because I have the doldrums, and I think that that's a base card for me, but I think that the Cardinal Oracle card is something different. And I've been feeling this. I've got the South Trade Winds, Tuana, and it's the guardian, and it guides my underworld journey. And it makes a whole lot of sense to me because I've been thinking I'm planning a trip to Peru at the end of October, the last weekend of October, the last week. And when I did a journey on it the other day, it was like that there was new information, new winds for me, there's something new for me there. When I left it, I had finished it and I thought, well, this is okay, we're good. But then this year, all of a sudden, it's been calling me back. And so I think there's something about this Tuana, this guardian, which I had never seen until a year ago. This wind is about the transformation that we are in right now, the Pachacuti, the upturning of the world. And so this wind is calling me. It's calling me back to Peru. I hope you want to join me. I'm going to take about 12 people. So if you're interested in joining me, I'll have more information on the trip really soon. But just email me over at windblessings@gmail.com and let me know you're thinking about it. We're going to do the Sacred Valley, and we're going to go to Lake Titicaca. And I think there's something special there for me as well. All right, what's the intensity that's working with me this year? This makes so perfect sense. It's the crosswind of realignment. And you may or may not know, but in July, my behavioral health career ended. And this year, I'm realigning myself to how to be showing up more as a teacher, how to hold more groups, how to teach more. In fact, I'm doing the reset every month. I have the Gates and Gatekeepers in March. I have the Shift Network class that begins in April. Another College of Psychic Sciences. I'm going to go back to England. So this year of realignment, speaking this weekend and speaking in April, this is about me really fully stepping into myself as a teacher and not thinking that, I have a job that's going to hold us. So it's me showing up with the community in a way that, the community, it's time for the community to support the WindWork, and I'm very excited about that. All right, so what I did was here is I filled this out so that I don't forget which winds, but it's kind of hard to forget the cardinal wind you're working with and the intensity, because they really show you the flavor of your year. They flavor your year. But then I do the regional winds on a sheet because it makes it a whole lot easier when I write them down to keep track of them as I go. Now, it is towards the end of February, but it is the wind horse. It's the new year, the Chinese astrology, the Tibetan astrology, and in the WindWork, we're a cyclical band of windies, and so we start our work. We've been hibernating, and now we're coming out. So I'm going to pull a wind for February, since I am going to, the Conscious Life Expo and stepping out. And this is such a perfect wind for me. It's Fang Popo, courage. about facing my fears. And one of the big fears that I've been facing recently is that I've been reaching out to other practitioners, other authors, other people, and asking them to support my Chef Network class, which is going to be a 7-week program on WindWork, which is I did 7 years ago when I just birthed the winds and really didn't even know how to teach it. It was revealing itself to me, and now we have a really solid system. And so I'm reaching out to people, and it's really a stretch for me to say, hey, I need your support. And they're showing up. So Feng Popo is my February wind. So I write that down. And then my March wind. And I'll probably stay with February maybe until the new moon. I don't really know. It's always clear as you go. So my March wind is Nilchi, the wind of intuition and listening to your inner voice. I like that. Now, we always want to call to the quality, but we're inviting you to call to the wind. Let the wind reveal what its quality is, not what I wrote on the card, but what the wind wants to reveal to you as its element, as its elemental. In April, I have Kari, the wind of expression. Now, that's kind of interesting because that's when I'll be teaching a new course for the College of Psychic Sciences on repatterning our masculine, repatterning our fathering, and reclaiming our inner authority, which is new work. And then to actually lay out the system of WindWork with a whole field journal is new as well. So I'm going to be really voicing this work into the world. So that kind of feels like absolutely correct for April. So for May, we have Oya. And it's about cutting through delusions. Probably my own delusions. Who knows? We're not even going to get that far yet because I'm not sure what's going on. In May, I'll be teaching the whole month of May, that 7-week Shift Network program. In June, purification, fusion. And so this is probably, will be right. I've got the first of the year is so stacked. By June, I'm going to be like ready for a little purifying time, walking around on the island, being back at home, and all of that. Interesting, for July, we have Wairatata. And Wairatata is the Amara, the Bolivian, and I'm going to be probably in July really working on putting the Peru pieces together for, what is the group that's forming, how are we going to serve in Peru, what are we going there for. And look at, if that's not Lake Titicaca on that card. So I think that by that point we'll be way into being called to Peru. That's another new card in the last couple of years. August. Cardia, the facilitator. This is about closing what's open and shutting what is... closing what's open and opening what's closed. So who knows? August, I'm probably going to be getting the ground ready for the new book that's coming out next fall. We haven't heard yet about when the book's coming out, but The Practical Shaman is coming this year. And if it's coming in September, we have Kaliak Beria, Hope, let the change shape you. And I don't know, but I'm feeling like this new book is going to be well received and popular. It's practical, it's necessary, it's needed, and I think it's a pretty good book. October, we have Shu. So this is grounding yourself in nature and separating out. And this is the month that I'm going to be going to, at the last week in October, going to Peru. So it'll be curious how I'm going to be separating myself from my ordinary life, separating myself from what I've had predetermined in my mind about what Peru is about, all of that stuff. November, Holly, the mystery. And Holly rewards hard work. And this looks like a really busy work year. And it's also the harvest, about reaping what you sow. So we'll see. I'll clue you in as I call into these winds and send them home. And hopefully you'll do the same and you'll call to your winds. In December, I got to go to the wind of compassion and finding freedom and forgiveness. So I'm not sure where that's going. I want to stay at the beginning of this year. But as you can see now I don't have to forget where I'm at with these winds. So when I sit down to make my prayer flags, which we may do as a group, but I have to know whether or not I'm going to be doing them on the shift network, and so I don't want to lose people because they already made their prayer flags. So in all transparency, I'll know this later this week. So this is when you start to put your life on a cycle, then you can take this list and put them on a cycle here. And then you create your prayer flags. And how you create them is, again, you can order them from me and get them like ready to decorate with some waterproof markers, or you can make your own. And I love the years that I make my own. I go over and get the fabric swatches and I use those as, in fact, I may do that this year. I may go get some colorful fabric swatches over at Hobby Lobby or wherever, Walmart. These bigger chain stores are the only place that have them now, and string them together and put my intention on for that goes along with these winds in each month. And again, then what we'll do is then every month you'll call into the wind you're working with, and the wind that I'm working with is Feng Popo. So what I would do is I'd come outside and I'd call to Feng Popo. And I will probably do that privately tomorrow, because this part is the sacred part. This is your altar. This is your personal altar. And I think that's all that I have to say today. I hope that you take this practice into heart and think about doing it for yourself. And you get the Windwalker Wisdom Oracle on the practicalshaman.com/store, or if you can only get a little bit far this year, you can go over to the Practical Shaman and pull your cards 3 sets at a time on the wind spinner, okay? On the oracle reading, and that will get you started. The purpose is to get started, to get to know the winds, and to become part of our community. All right, I'm Renee, the Practical Shaman, coming to you from La Quinta, California, after a pretty big windstorm.